witness her doing stand-up. She did this just for the show. She did this just for the show. Do you want a mic, or you gonna use your mic?
Oh, you're good. I'm still recording. I had to get this first one. I love New York. New York is my home. Really? I gotta stop recording this. Okay. You guys. Oh my gosh. I just want to die. I would have just. I'm crowd surfing more. Okay, you guys. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for coming out. And I love you too. I love you. Okay. Thanks for coming out in the rain and all that stuff. You know. What brought us out this week was Internet Week. That's why a bunch of us are out here, Smosh and What the Buck, right? Or on this side here. Hey guys. I mean, our YouTube family is not complete, but a bunch of us are out here. Thank you guys for coming too. And it's just exciting to be here, you know. You gotta love the internet, right? I mean, none of us would be here. We wouldn't have this connection with you guys if it wasn't for the internet, right? I mean, look at all these cameras. It's gonna be on the internet later. I better watch what I say. Yeah, but I mean, we just, you know, it's like, it's really unreal when you're in your room alone and you turn the camera on and you're like, and nobody's laughing. There are no, you know, nobody's flashing at you or anything. So, you know, it's unreal to take that scenario and then all of a sudden bring it to this. And you guys who have been watching us straight from my home to your home, and now you're here. That's unreal. Just for those of you that are here, maybe you just wandered off the street, you're like, what in the world is a HappySlip? Why in the world is she called HappySlip? I'll give you a little, you know, let you know what that means. HappySlip, I mean, lots of us have accounts on the internet, and so we want to come up with a good screen name. And I found that was a little tough. I was like, what am I going to name myself? What's going to be memorable? What's going to be good? What's going to be funny? What's going to be reflective of what I do? You know, and then I thought, well, I want it to be a funny memory. And my mom growing up would always say, oh, be sure to wear your HappySlip, your HappySlip, right? And that, what she was trying to say is wear your half slip, because she didn't want anyone to see through any skirts or dresses or anything, so she's, you know, your HappySlip, make sure. So she's trying to say half slip, but it comes out as HappySlip, okay? So, but I grew up thinking in my head that it was spelled HappySlip. That's normal to me. So, you know, I go to school, and one day I forgot to wear my HappySlip, and I went, I said, oh my gosh, I forgot to wear my HappySlip. And then my classmates were like, what, you got a sad slip too? What is that about? And I thought, what are they talking about? It's a HappySlip. But anyway, I thought that's a funny memory, and the dual purpose behind that name is I want people to slip into happiness. When they watch it. So cheesy, the my goodness. Okay, so a lot of people, one of the frequently asked questions is, well, what do your parents and your family think about you imitating them all the time? And the thing is, when I thought, what? I'm sorry. When I think more about the, you know, origins of HappySlip, it probably really started as stand-up, because it was sort of like imitation on demand, you know. Oh, come on, Kristin, everybody is bored. It'll be those holiday parties, and you know, everyone's eating their potluck. They're full. They're sitting back. Okay, we need some entertainment here. Where's the kids? Bring out the kids. Where's the kids? Play some piano. Do something. But after a while, you know, people are still bored. So my mom's like, please, can you imitate me? Will you mimic me? And then, you know, so it's normal. I've actually been doing this, if you think about it, for a long time. And the videos is just another way of expressing this sort of strange humor, right? And if you ask my dad, you know, what's your earliest memory of me doing this kind of stuff? And what do you think about it? And this is what he says all the time. I'm like, he says, well, you know, oh, sorry. Well, you know, when you were little, we thought you were slow. We thought you were retarded. Because you don't talk. You hardly talk. You just and you're just quiet, observing everyone. Observing. Little did we know you're observing them to mimic them later. Well, I guess that's true because I have memories as early as 8 years old, and whenever they would have show and tell, I'd always be like, yeah, I want to go, and I wouldn't have anything to show, but I'd always have something to tell, you know? Like, okay, Christine, another one of your stories, okay, and I'd never have anything to show. So anyway, you know, the observing thing, right? In New York City, don't you love New York City? There's so much to observe here. This is the greatest city in the world. So many different cultures, ethnicities, so many different types of people. There's lots to observe here, right? Filipino! Other than Filipinos, but there is lots to observe. Now, one of my favorite stories, you know, the things about New Yorkers, you always love the difference between real New Yorkers and tourists, right? Yeah! Because real New Yorkers always have this look on their face, like... Right, so if they're walking on the street, they always got the New York face. And if they're on the subway, you know, they got the New York face. Right? And you know, nothing phases them. But the tourists, you know the tourists because they're really dressed up, they've got the really high heels, they're thin high heels that get stuck in any crack in the street, right? You're like, oh yeah, they're tourists, right? And they're always like, right? And I love to observe that. One of my favorite stories is I was on one of those shuttle buses from JFK. I was visiting some family and I was coming back in the city, so I was taking the $10 shuttle bus, you know. And so I'm on this, and then here you got this real New Yorker driver. So cool. And he's just, you know, he's doing this regular thing. And this bus is full of people that are real New Yorkers and then people that are tourists, right? So he's doing his thing and he's like, when you got on this bus, you told me whether you wanted to get off at Grand Central or Penn Station. Now, if you want to change your mind, if you said Penn Station, now you want to get off at Grand Central, you can forget about it. You could ask me 3 times, I'll tell you no. Times. And then, you know, the tourists are like, oh my gosh. And then the New Yorkers again are like this. And then he decided to give a bit of warning to them. He said, do not allow anyone to escort you or your luggage to a cab. If you do, guaranteed, you will not see it ever. Welcome to New York. And he turns the wheel really fast, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, oh, New York. Right? And then again, the New Yorkers, they're not fazed at all. But I kind of get in trouble for making that generalization. Also, because I was on the subway one time, and a swarm of teenagers came on to the subway, and they were like, and then they don't hold on to anything. They think, you know, and then when the first stop comes on the subway, right, and it halts to a stop, and they're like, like that, right? And then I was sitting there like this, right in New York, and I was like, and I looked at the guy next to me, and I was like, tourist. And then he goes, yeah, I'm with them. But I'm going to put my foot in my mouth, right? Oh, man. And then another thing I love about New York, even in my church, my lovely friends are here. I love you guys so much. They're my family. They really are my family. Even in our church, it really reflected a lot of different ethnicities. One of my favorite stories is when I was teaching a children's class.